Hello and good day. So, why not use credit cards? Today I would like to talk about credit cards and why some might want to use them and the risks of using them despite the potential value you're hoping to gain out of them. So, let's start with the thing about credit cards is you're conveniently taking debt to purchase an item whether you have the money or not. And then the idea is you'll pay it back later, and if you pay it back quickly enough, it shouldn't necessarily cost you. But if you don't pay it back quickly enough and let it build up and keep letting it build up, the incredible 20% interest rates that you tend to get for credit card loans are significantly to the advantage of credit card companies. And the only real value that you can't just get out of a debit card, which would allow you to make easy transactions as long as you have the money in the account, which if you don't have the money in the account, then why are you using credit cards at the insane interest rate already? And if you just have to wait a little bit to get your money in, then what situation are you in that you couldn't prepare to make it so you can wait for whatever it is you're purchasing without having to go into debt? Hopefully, you can set up an emergency fund, at least starting with $1,000, so any small emergencies can be covered. And the number of people who have a actual serious situation because they got a parking ticket that's costing them a couple $100, or they have a flat tire and they don't need to, don't have a spare, or they need $150 for whatever emergency or another, that they're actually in serious, don't have the capital for it, and may even generally have to go to a credit card for that kind of thing. However, that should not be. You should be able to hopefully save up $1,000 for small emergencies, and then eventually grow that to a 3 to 6 month, or whatever you feel comfortable with, to cover your expenses should something happen to your income and or a big emergency happens in a short period of time. So, the value of a credit card that people try to go for is usually the cash back or points that they give you for using your credit card. The general idea being, alright, so I get 1% or 1.5% cash back, or I get airline miles or points that will help me be able to cut down on the cost of a vacation in the future. For this situation, we'll use the 1% cashback idea. So, I don't know about you, but I don't know any wealthy people who have considered credit cards to be anything in the terms of their financial achievements. It's like the idea of 1% cashback. If you spent $100,000 to get $1,000, you're not being advantageous to yourself. But the idea being you only spend what you're going to spend already, therefore getting 1% discount should be a advantage, right? However, studies have shown that when you use a credit card, it's not nearly as painful as counting out and spending 20s, 50s, hundreds of dollars in actual cash. It doesn't activate the same pain centers, nor does it make you as wary as spending actual cash versus just swiping a card and getting both the item and the card back in your hand. It's like it feels like you didn't lose anything, and in fact you actually gained, versus having to trade something you care about for another object you hopefully care about more. Yet, the idea is that you won't spend more. However, the idea for the credit card companies is you will spend more. And preferably spend more than you can even cover in 1 month, so they can collect a nice bit of interest with you. But hopefully not too much, because if you can't end up paying that back, then they don't really get there's only so much they can get off of you. However, they are trying to profit. And if you think the companies that now use credit cards, it wasn't just for a convenience of the customer to accept credit cards and the fact that there's a transaction fee for using credit cards that's almost always covered by the business, which is why you might see in some smaller business that credit cards by using credit card you are charged there is a minimum purchase requirement level, however small that usually is, because there is a fee for the company to use or process a credit card payment. And yet they still do so, and that motivation is due to the fact that people are willing to spend more using credit cards because it's easier. When it is easier to spend or do something, you're significantly more likely to do that action. When it doesn't take a significant amount of effort, and you can gain something from it, you don't mind going through the process. So the idea is you'll spend more by using credit cards or whatever form of easy payment, such as Amazon Prime or Apple Pay, compared to if you just actually use cash, or the bare minimum a debit card, which you know the exact limit you have in the account. So hopefully this clarified why I don't think credit cards are not a good idea, and hopefully helps you guys to at the very least, limit the use of credit cards and not really care about credit cards and credit scores per se. And I'll probably do another video talking about credit scores and the fact that if you don't use credit cards, what happens to your credit score, and explaining how to deal with that and why, just the general information about that. So if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. And if you'd like to hear more of this content, please subscribe, and you'll hopefully receive notifications. If not, ring that bell, and have a good day.